Rangers lose 3-2 in overtime to the Ottawa Senators, and yet again the Rangers find a way to blow a lead, and yet again they lose in overtime. It's becoming an infuriating thing, and like I said, it's been a chore to watch this team, but you're unserious when you're in close games with the Ottawa Senators. Like last game when they won, I was not convinced by any stretch of the imagination, but I tried to give them a little bit of a chance and say, hey, all right, maybe this could be the time you turn things around. Maybe a win here, grabbing 2 points will get you going a bit, and will actually, maybe we'll see some quality hockey, but nope, that is far from what we saw tonight. Absolutely abysmal performance yet again from this team, and the no quit in New York garbage needs to go, because why? Why are we still using this when all they do is take their foot off the gas and quit? Just yet again another night where they get outplayed, and it just was embarrassing to watch. Before we jump further into the recap, though, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. But let's talk about this one, because there's a good amount. I don't have too much in my notes, actually, but start things off. The Rangers started off great, right? Because Philip Hedl takes a high-sticking 4-minute double minor in the offensive zone, and all of a sudden you felt like, yeah, it's going to be one of those games, isn't it? The Rangers are just going to get dominated by the Senators, but the Rangers would actually have a very good penalty kill. Adam Fox made some nice plays. Jacob Trouba, too, even made some nice plays, and they only limited the Ottawa Senators to one shot on goal, and it's like, all right, let's get some momentum from this. Maybe the Rangers will actually get something going here, and they did, actually. The Rangers actually got some chances. They got one from their second line. Nobody was able to bury the rebound, but the second line would end up scoring a goal as Vitaly Kravtsov fires one. It got blocked, and he ended up burying the second chance on goal, and that made it a 1-0 game. Vitaly Kravtsov finally getting a goal on the season from Panarin and Fox. Fox, nice little breakout pass there. Panarin with the east-west play. And then, yeah, Vitaly Kravtsov does the rest of the work from there. So, again, Kravtsov, we're going to talk more about him. He had a great game tonight. Very happy with what I saw from him, and that goal certainly was a great play. And then the Rangers kind of took their foot off the gas as per usual, as Hayek had to make a diving effort to stop a 2-on-1 coming the other way. And that won't be the first defensive play Libor Hayek makes, believe it or not. But Jimmy Vesey then gets a backhanded chance. Kreider with the rebound misses. Then Fox gets a shot denied. Nobody is able to get the rebound there. Then a rush comes the other way. Fox makes a beautiful defensive play to stop that coming the other way. Tyler Mott then cooks Braden Schneider, and he got denied by Igor Shesterkin, who stretched and made a beautiful save. Then he made another beautiful save on Tyler Mott yet again, who got one to kind of bounce on goal. This one was kind of a weird one, but regardless, ends up staying out of the net. Then Barclay Goodrow and Libor Hayek have to make a save themselves, especially Hayek there, as Tkachuk threw one on net, almost slipped through Igor Shesterkin. Well, it did slip through him, and Hayek made the stop there at the goal line, and Barclay Goodrow made sure it stayed out as well. So some nice little defense there, but then again, Trocheck with a wraparound try, couldn't get that one through. Stützle then, beautiful move there by him, and you know, it must be nice having your younger players actually look good at the sport, right? But Stützle got two good chances there. Igor stopped both of them, but overall, I thought the period was okay. I mean, they started off good, but then they let Ottawa get way too much back into the game and get comfortable. At one point, the shots were 6-1 for the Rangers, and it ended as 9-9. You got to be better than that. You can't allow that many opportunities. It's happening way too much. And the second period, even more eventful as per usual. Lindy got a chance early, denied. And, you know, this is when I was distracted, too, by other news with the other sport that I watch, which, if you're Met fans, get ready for that. Artem Zub then takes a cross-checking penalty, and what do the Rangers do on the power play? Absolutely nothing, but allow the Ottawa Senators to get some shorthanded chances. I think Tyler Mott got one yet again. Tyler Mott had a great game. Must be nice having him on your team. Wonder what that's like. Igor then had to make a huge save on Batherson in front. Trouba was just nowhere to be found on that play. Hedl then with a chance in front. That gets denied. Igor then stopped Mott again, and the Rangers were just looking awful. Ottawa got a lot of chances, and it eventually led to a goal as Brady Tkachuk ended up putting one on goal, and Giroux just walks in and buries the rebound. Awful defensive effort there, but they review it. It was offsides, thankfully, as it was a quick rush there. Had a feeling it was offsides. They take it back, and it ends up being no goal. Looking good. Oh, but then Jacob Trouba decides, let me take a dumb tripping penalty. Let me just rip your legs out. And what do the Senators do? They capitalize on the power play as they just all swarm the net there. Puck ends up being loose, and Tim Stützle buries it. And of course he scores. And that ends up tying the game at 1 right there. Kravtsov then set up Hedl, and the puck went away. Again, Kravtsov had a great game. Philip Hedl kind of dragged that second line down, in my opinion, tonight. I didn't like Hedl's game at all, which we'll talk about more. Laffy with some good chances as well. They ended up being stopped. Laffy didn't get a lot of ice time, considering I thought he actually played one of his better games of the year, which is also kind of weird. But again, I guess this freaking coach knows better than you and I, right? But Schneider then had to make a nice play to break up a 2-on-1 as Miller ended up turning the puck over. Trouba and Tkachuk then dropped the mitts. I don't know what happened that sparked this. I don't know if Trouba was trying to rile the team up because the Rangers looked awful that period to that juncture, but they ended up dropping the mitts there, and Trouba won the fight, if anyone cares about that. Hedl then ended up getting a chance off a backdoor feed from Schneider, and he missed on that, fanned on it. Goody and Watson then dropped the gloves again. Couple fights there. It was weird. Blay hit one off the post, and the Rangers looked sloppy, but until that Trouba fight, you know what? It actually gave them a bit of a spark. 11-6 for Ottawa in shots for that period. But again, there was a little bit of a spark going, and let's see what happens here going in the third, right? Stützle then goes off for slashing. Trocheck hit his gamely post in this game, and then Kreider missed an open net as well. How many times does that happen? Trouba and Hedl ended up getting chances at the end of the power play as well, but that was it. But the Rangers would end up scoring shortly after. Schneider ended up throwing one on goal. Kreider missed the first rebound, but Mika gets a second chance, and he ends up burying it. 2-1 game right there. Hold on to this for the love of God, right? Kravtsov got a backhanded chance in front, denied. Kravtsov then took a high sticking penalty, which sucks because you knew he was going to get benched. He ended up getting benched for one shift after that. Undeserved, but whatever. And Igor then had to make a stop on Pinto, and that was pretty much it. The Raiders killed that successfully. Igor then with another huge stop at the doorstep. Again, I think that was Tyler Mott that got that chance, if I'm not mistaken. And they reviewed that one because it ended up going into the net afterwards, but it was no goal because the play was already dead at that point. Igor then had to make a stop on Batherson, and then Jacob Trouba blocking his own man's clearing attempt, and Shabbat gets it at the blue line, throws it on goal, deflected by Tkachuk, and goes in. 2-2 game. Who would have thought that was coming? And I thought it was a pathetic period for the most part. I didn't really like what they did. I thought the first half they were pretty solid, but then they took their foot off the gas. So not too much to like about that. And then overtime, Mika Zibanejad got a breakaway opportunity. Didn't score on it. Tkachuk scored on his breakaway opportunity, though. And that ended the game. Adam Fox, too far of a pinch. Nobody back on defense. Panarin tried. Didn't do a good job at it. 3-2 loss. Shots in the game, 37-27 in favor of the Ottawa Senators. Face-off percentage, 51-49 in favor of the Ottawa Senators. Power play went 0-2 for the Rangers. Shocking. Power play for Ottawa went 1-4. Block shots, 19-10 in favor of Ottawa. Giveaways, 9 for Ottawa. 17 for the Rangers. Yep. Nothing new. Nothing new. So when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? Every single game, they cannot hold a lead. Except last game, but the game before this one in Ottawa. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to watch. And this falls on Gallant. It does. You need to have them more prepared. The first line I thought was okay tonight. Kreider, Zibanejad, VC. They had a couple good shifts here and there, but there were times too where they just looked absolutely awful. Jimmy VC had a decent game. Kreider was very invisible, missing opportunities that he got. Couldn't even hit the net tonight. Didn't like Kreider's game. Zibanejad had a pretty good game, though. He also made a nice defensive play at one point in this game. I think it was in the second period. I want to say it was then that he made a defensive play to stop an Ottawa rush. But still, not enough from your first line. Second line was probably the best line of the night. Panarin, Hedl, and Kravtsov. Hedl, again, dragged that line down, in my opinion. I didn't like Hedl's game at all. He had 5 shots on goal, but I didn't like the penalty that he took. I didn't like a couple things that he did in this game. I thought he missed way too many opportunities he's got to capitalize on, and he just got to be better than that. Kravtsov probably had his best game since being in the NHL. Really good game for him. You notice him with the puck. Besides scoring the goal, he looked great even without the puck. And then Panarin, okay from him. Maybe would have liked more, but overall as a line, I didn't hate that line. The third line, Lafreniere, Trocheck, and Kakko. They were pretty good, actually. I liked Lafreniere's tonight quite a bit. I actually really did, but he didn't get enough of an opportunity there, in my opinion. But Lafreniere, I thought, actually had a pretty solid game. There were some scoring chances that he generated throughout the night. Kind of like this game. Trocheck, he was okay tonight. 63% of the faceoff dot, which we love to see. But outside of that, he wasn't that noticeable. Turned the puck over a lot in this game as well. Didn't like that. And Kakko had an awful night, though. He kind of dragged that line down. And I don't know why he got as much ice time as he did, but he probably shouldn't have. He had an awful night. -2 on the night as well. Yeah, I noticed that line was getting pinned into the defensive zone quite a bit. And then your fourth line, there was nothing there from them at all. I mean, Blais hit the post on one. That was about it. And all they did was throw hits. Not one shot on goal from that line at all. Not one. And Barclay Goodrow still managed to get 15 minutes despite having a 5-minute major in this game. The defense, Lindgren and Fox, decent. I didn't like Fox's play in overtime. I didn't. Lindgren had a pretty solid game, though. Yet again. Here's my problem, too. Here's my problem. So we saw Miller Schneider all game. It worked. It worked. Schneider had some nice plays, breaking up a 2-on-1 at one point. Miller had a pretty good game, despite the turnover. But he had a pretty good game. They were good together. And for whatever reason, Gallant elects in the final 5 minutes of the game to put Miller and Trouba back together when they clearly suck together. And we saw what happened. I just don't understand. I don't understand his coaching philosophy at all. Miller and Schneider as a pair, great. Miller and Trouba as a pair, garbage. And Trouba and Hayek carried that pair. I mean, Trouba, I liked that fight. I liked a couple of plays that he made on the penalty kill early. But man, again, awful. And then overtime too. Ottawa almost got some opportunities because Trouba's just slow. You can't put him out there 3-on-3. And Igor did everything you could have asked from him. 34 stops. And it's not like any of the goals were his fault. He had a great night. You got to feel bad for the guy because every night it's him needing to carry this team. I'm done beating the dead horse here. You guys know what I need to say. I'll say it one more time. Gallant needs to go because this is an atrocity. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to sound like a broken record. Let's just get the Twitter so I could actually get out of here and go to bed. Well, record another video that I don't want to record and then go to bed. Black Dog RVA says, bad again. Blown lead late. Awful in overtime. Too many bullshit passes. Same old as any shred of optimism fades. Ottawa is a bad team, but they outclassed the Rangers when it mattered. Where to go from here? I don't know where you go. I don't know where you go. It's awful. And something needs to change, and it needs to change in the coaching staff because it's easier to fire one guy than replace 23 guys. And Gallant, doesn't hold any accountability. There's no system being played. There's no structure. And apparently Trouba had a meeting before that game against Ottawa, the one in Ottawa. Whatever. Where's the coach? Why is Trouba acting like the coach? And yeah, the passes are awful, especially the breakout pass where they force the stretch. It's ridiculous. Fusion says, I knew it, man. Already 5 OT shootout losses this season. Yeah, once it went to overtime, I knew it was over. It was obvious. It was obvious it was over. New York South White 4 says, I'm not amused. You and I both. Matthew says, look, I'm not going after Mika for this loss, but come on, man. Have we scored a single breakaway goal this season besides Kreider? Can't take it. This loss is all Trouba. He is garbage. Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. They need to actually score on breakaways. And Trouba, trash. I felt a good vibe in the game, man, and this team keeps finding a way to lose. I felt the defense could have been much better in the second, but once again, Jacob Trouba takes a stupid penalty that leads to a goal that fails to clear the puck. And there is your game. Crazy. How many times are we going to blow it in overtime? I mean, your comment's perfect. Perfect comment. And I'd say they gave up defensively at other points, but I agree for 90% of what you said with the defense there. That, well, 90% of your comment, I should say. More than that, probably. I just feel like you left out a little bit about the defense. You were a little too kind there. But, yeah, you know what? I actually felt a decent vibe, and it was actually electric in there in the Garden. It's a December game against the Ottawa Senators. It was electric in that building. But, man, they no-showed. Embarrassing. Kazoo says the Rangers are too expensive to be this bad. Yep, bunch of overpaid players. I'll leave it at that so I could end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially Ranger fans. Leave in the comment section down below your thoughts on the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.